For the questions then, and Mahima, I'm going to take the first question from Raghu, who's writing in from Bengaluru, asking about PC Jeweler. And it's an interesting question to ask. Let's pull up the chart and see where it's currently trading. It is at upper circuit, and I want to know what Rajesh has to say, because this particular viewer has taken a call to buy 4,000 shares of PC Jeweler at a price of 2 rupees 10 paise, when things were not looking too good for this company. Rajesh, there were a few concerns about corporate governance about this company, and we marked this at the start during India Market Open as well. What would you suggest for somebody who's bought at that level, though? Multifold growth.
Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Mahima. Good morning, Vaishali. This kind of purchase, I would say, is fully speculative. It's like hero or zero, which option players call. Either it's zero or it becomes a hero. So that is what exactly happened. Corporate governance issue. We are still very concerned. We are not very convinced about the things in PC Jeweler as such. Numbers are also not that exciting. And fundamentally, I would say to avoid these kind of stocks. But still, when you have taken this kind of call from a very low level, what I would suggest is sell that much quantity so that your capital comes out and ride the rest.
That's the view coming in with respect to PC Jewelers. The next question that we have is on Star Health. Vinay from Hyderabad has bought 285 shares at 510 a piece, and he's holding them at a loss right now. So he's sitting on a loss of over 19,000 odd rupees. He wants to know what's the view with respect to the stock from a 1 year point of view. Since he's been holding for quite some time now, Rajesh, I'll stick with you for this one. Star Health, fundamentally, how does it look?
See, the numbers this quarter were under pressure. Margins were under pressure. It didn't perform as expected. But still going forward from the fourth quarter onwards, when it's time for people to think about Mediclaim and all, I think the volumes would take up and the margins would improve. At this point of time, it's a hold from a side. But by any chance it comes to around 470, 475 odd levels, then one can think of getting out.
All right, let's take the next one. And I've promised that I will take Geeta's question. She's asking about Transformers and Rectifiers Limited. And she's bought at levels of 889. The stock is, if I'm not mistaken, up and about today. Let's pull up the intraday chart. It is, in fact, at an upper circuit, if I'm not mistaken. The question is for a very long term, though. So therefore, Rajesh, I'm coming back to you. What she's pointing out is that despite their results, they have actually bagged a largest order in the past couple of days, a few days, and perhaps there's a reaction to that. Would you say that it's a good hold for the next 6 years? There were questions about valuations which might have become a little stretched, but would you hold on?
See, at this point of time, I would hold on, not because of the recent orders, but I believe they have announced of corporate action also, like maybe going forward some bonus and all. So numbers have been good, but you have to be very cautious on this because the volumes are very low, and any kind of significant selling might keep the stock in a downside circuit also. But at this point of time, keep a target of 870 odd rupees and carry on.
That's the view coming in on Transformers and Rectifiers. Hold is the view from Rajesh. The next counter that we have is Adani Ports. Sarath from Kerala has this question. He wants to buy Adani Ports from a 3 months perspective. Vaishali, I'll come to you on this one. 3 months on the charts, Adani Ports is the right buy?
No, I would say so, yes, of course, because the stock has been beaten down, and I would say purely with a strict disciplined trading, I would say keep a stop loss of 1100 or maybe 10,080. And I think the way the stock is showing signs of reversal, this can go towards 1180 to 1200. So disciplined trading with stop loss, shorter term time frame is 1100, and since it's a positional trade, I would say keep a stop loss of 1080.
1080 is a stop loss. All right. And the standard disclaimer, of course, you're watching NDTV Profit, which is part of the NDTV Group and owned by the Adani Group. We just discussed Adani Ports. All right. I know we have a caller, but let's quickly address this. I spoke about Equitas, apologies, Equitas Small Finance Bank, but actually the question was for ESAF Small Finance Bank earlier in the week, and so I'm rectifying that today. Basil Kurian, writing in from Saudi Riyadh. He's bought ESAF Bank at a price of, I believe, 67.39. He's got 1,400, and so he's incurring a loss right now. It's practically halved. What should he do for the next 6 months? Vaishali, I'll come to you on this one. ESAF Small Finance Bank.
Yes, so right now I think it's at 35 rupees, but there is nothing really happening in the stock. So now that if he wants to hold, keep a stop loss of 32. And let's see if this stock goes above 38. I guess it could go further towards 42 levels. So that's the way you can hold the stock.
All right, that's the view coming in on Equita Small Finance Bank.
ESAF.
It's ESAF, okay. Yeah. ESAF Small Finance Bank. The next caller is lined up for us. Nihar from Bengaluru is calling in. Nihar, a very good morning. I believe you have a query on ITC. Nihar, I can hear you. Yes, go ahead with the query. Go ahead with the query. Yes, I can hear you, Nihar.
Actually, I bought the shares of 115 at an average of 395 after the demerger.
Okay.
I want to know the long-term view. What will be the...
Did you buy ITC or ITC Hotels?
ITC.
Okay, understood. What do you want to know?
I want to know the long-term view of the stock.
Okay. Any specific reason as to why you bought it post the demerger?
Because ITC has a portfolio on various segments like tech, cigarette and FMCG.
Right.
So ITC is one of the Nifty 50 stock as well.
Right.
So I want to know the long-term view.
Okay, got it, Nihar. Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. ITC post demerger is when he's bought the shares. Is it a good long-term hold?
Of course, it's a good long-term hold. One can even buy this stock. Company has been doing very well. Not only the tobacco front, but even the FMCG is doing well. They're moving into dairy, cash positive balance sheet, debt free, having strong portfolio brand. And the best part is from the last 2-3 budget, there is no tinkering of syntax, what you call syntax on this tobacco business of this. On all parameters, the stock is a good long-term hold, even giving good dividends. One can even buy at these levels.
And don't miss the grin on Rajesh's face when he speaks about ITC. And this is how you should look at companies, right? You should be absolutely positive about them. Let's talk about Roshan's question. Roshan is calling us from Chennai. Roshan, what would you want to know?
Yeah, hi. I have purchased JP Power 6 months back at 20 rupees. So quantity of 2,600. So I'm at a loss of 12,000 rupees now. So should I can I hold it for some more time, or should I sell it?
Okay, what was the thinking when you bought Jayaprakash Power Ventures? Was it based on the business?
Yeah, based on the business and based on some experts' advice, I have purchased it.
Based on, sorry, what is the second thing that you said?
Expert advice.
Expert advice, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and what was the time period that you intended to hold for, Roshan?
I can hold it for 6 more months,
Okay.
for 1 year.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Vaishali, he's lost ground and 20 rupees was his buy price. The stock is currently trading at 15 rupees. What would you suggest that he do?
I guess the stock is already beaten down, and now that he's holding in and holding with a loss, I would say the stock is showing signs of reversal. So keep a stop loss of 1450, and gradually I think I see the stock going towards 1650. So from there on we can have a relook. If we see further momentum setting in, it can go towards 18 as well. So I would go step by step in the stock.
Got it. That's the view coming in on JP Power. The next question that we have is on South Indian Bank. Niva from Chennai wants to know whether it's the right time to enter from a longer term perspective. She wants to know the levels to enter and the target price from a longer term perspective. Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. South Indian Bank is the counter. What's your view?
See, it's a very stable bank, giving good numbers quarter on quarter. Dividend is also good, but the problem is from the long period of time there have been nothing on the market cap front. So there are better choices available in the market. If you're looking at small cap or a mid cap banking names, maybe a Bank of Maharashtra or a PNB would be a better choice rather than going for South Indian Bank.
Which was the bank that we just spoke?
South Indian Bank.
South Indian Bank. Because we've got the next question, which is also on a bank, and Shrikant wants to know about Union Bank, which he's acquired 975 quantity of, 119 is the average price of acquisition. The stock is currently trading very close to that level. He's looking for the short to medium term outlook on this and whether or not there's another opportunity that he should consider as opposed to this. Vaishali, on the charts, what would you suggest? The stock is up and about in trade today, 4.5%.
Agreed. So actually, even the PSU sector, overall full banking sector had been beaten. And now today we are seeing some good strength coming in. So I would say continue holding as far as Union Bank is concerned. Short-term target, I would say, well, keep a stop loss of 114 and look for a target of 128. But besides that, if you are asking me, Kotak Bank is showing a lot of promise. Axis Bank, fair value, ICICI. So, well, I think he should have a balance of all these stocks in the portfolio.
Okay, we have our next caller lined up. Murli from Bengaluru is calling in. A very good morning to you, Mr. Murli. How can we help you?
Good morning to you. My question is to Mr. Rajesh.
Okay.
I'm holding 200 shares of Encure Pharma, a recent listing.
Right.
Bought at 1355.
Okay.
Now it is around 1247.
Right.
So I'm incurring a huge loss.
Got it.
Can I add more? I'm willing to wait for 1 year.
Okay, add more. Rajesh, is that the right thing to do at the current levels for Emcure Pharma?
See, we believe that there would be organic growth in this company in the second half of the year. They have put up new research and development facilities in Gujarat. The numbers have been improving. I think one can continue to hold. Adding at this point of time would not be advised unless until one more quarter of numbers is there. But yes, it's a hold from our side.
Okay, hold on Emcure Pharma. So Rajesh, you had suggested a hold on GE Vernova TND. But we've got a viewer who's bought at very elevated levels, I think over 1,000, in fact closer to 1,200 if I'm not mistaken. Is it still a hold?
Which one you said?
GE Vernova TND. Oh no, we didn't take. We actually took transformers and rectifiers. Sorry, my mistake. GE Vernova TND, transmission distribution. Would you hold if you bought at levels of 1,200?
See, considering the power scenario in our country and the way the focus of government on power and all, I think all the power distribution and transmission companies are going to do well, and these companies are being ancillary to the entire sector, are going to do well in long term. Maybe in the short term you are finding some M2M losses, but for long term, yes, it's a hold from our side.
All right, so that's the view coming in on GVTND. The next question that we have is from Ramesh. It's a very generic question, but a very important one. Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. He's asking that he wants to make a portfolio worth of 25 lakh rupees. So he has 25 lakh rupees that he wants to invest in right now. And he wants to know whether 30 to 40 companies is the right amount of companies to invest in with a 25 lakhs portfolio, and if not that, how many companies should he stick to, and if you have the picks as well for him?
See, Maima, it's a very tricky question. Depends on person to person, but on my opinion, I would say maximum 10 to 15 companies would be ideal size of a portfolio, because anything more than that, it would be difficult to manage. You won't be able to keep track of your buying prices, any movements coming there, any news coming there. So it's better to keep such number of companies that you can track on a regular basis. And in my opinion, 10 to 15 is the optimum size.
Okay, you know what, I'm going to address this because Rajan has made a fair point. A lot of you tune in to watch this program to get your questions answered, but unfortunately we have to address breaking news or management commentary, and it's not something that we choose to do because we don't want to address your question. We just have to do that, but we'll try and take as many of your questions as possible, Rajan. It's taken. We'll try and avoid this as far as possible. The next question is on CAMS, and Chandan Jain from Hubli wants to know whether it can be bought at the current market price or would you wait for a dip. Vaishali, on the charts, what's the best time to buy this? This stock is buzzing in trade today.
Yes, so I think we've already seen a good run up. So I would say just wait for a little bit of a dip and then, or you can accumulate, because once the stock gets into a strong trend, maybe, you don't get a chance, but I would say keep 3,400 as support levels and start accumulating at every dip.
Coal India is the next counter. I believe Meetika has bought in Coal India at 418 a piece. She's not mentioned the quantity, but she wants to know will it rise going ahead or not. She's not mentioned the time frame as well. Vaishali, I'll come to you on this one. Coal India on the charts.
So I would say long-term trend is very much intact. I mean, if you see at the weekly and the monthly, I think these are all good opportunities. So I would say take 370, 365, 370 as a strong support band. And one can average out also if it's been bought at higher levels, and look for a target of 410, 420.
Okay. Is it time for the rapid fire segment? Okay, so we have one more. Zomato, can it be added? Vishakha wants to know. She's already, she's got it from the primary market, so she's gotten it from IPO levels. But would you add more at this juncture is the question. Rajesh, fundamental view on Zomato, would you buy?
No. That's the one-liner, I would say. The numbers have been good, no doubt on that. This quarter, the numbers have been under pressure. It's been growing. They are talking about 2,000 dark stores. Previously, it was 2026. Now it's 2025. So that expenses would again be there. And the valuations, they are trading at a 3-digit P. That's huge. Competition is coming up, not only from Swiggy, but if you look at Zepto and Amazon, everybody is coming into Q-commerce. So competition is high, valuations are high. It's better to avoid.
All right, it is now time to hit the rapid fire segment. This is where we take as many questions as possible over the course of 2 minutes. The first question is on State Bank of India. We've got Kantibai who's asking this. 835 is the buy price. Would you hold or exit? Vaishali on the charts.
Add.
Good entry point for Keynes Technology. This is a question from Vamsidhar, who's from Andhra Pradesh. Vaishali, your view?
Keynes Technology, well, just a minute. I would say hold with a stop loss of 4,300.
Okay, Lemon Tree, I'm coming back to you on this one, Vaishali. We've got a viewer who has bought at levels of 136. Would you hold for the short term?
For the short term, book at 153, 155.
Okay, Craftsman Automation is the counter. The person bought 10 shares at 1,500 a piece. Can he wait for 1 year or not? Rajesh, if you have a view on this one.
Continue to hold.
Okay, Orient Green Power, 8,000 shares bought by Navya at a price of 16.3. Would you hold on to this or would you exit, Vaishali?
Hold with a stop loss of 15 rupees and wait for a bounce.
All right, Aditya Birla Capital is the next counter. Hariom from Karnal, Haryana wants to have a view on this. Should he keep holding it or sell at the current levels? Your view, Vaishali?
I think market is on a bounce, so I think should continue holding.
Prakash wants to know about Suzlon. I do not know the buy price, but he's incurring a loss. Rajesh, would you hold or exit?
Exit on upsides.
Okay, Engineers India is the next counter. Bought an average price of 237 by Rasha. She's holding 1250 shares. Should she keep holding it or average at the current levels? Vaishali, your view?
He or she is bought at a very high level. I think average it out.
Okay, coming back to you, Vaishali, Titagar is the name of the counter. Railway stocks are buzzing in trade today. Is it a good time to buy this one today?
Yes.
Okay, Satish from Bangalore wants your view, Rajesh, on Canara Bank. He's bought it at 105 and should he sell or buy further?
You can buy further.
Okay. All right. That brings us to the end of this edition of the Ask Profit program. Thank you so much, Vaishali, Rajesh, for joining us today. And a pleasure as always speaking with you. All right. Like I said, that brings us to the end of this edition, curtailed edition of Ask Profit. We tried to take